That is the part that nobody's talking about, is that right now today, if you want to get rich, what you should realize is there's $68 trillion of wealth that may be transferred in baby boomers to the next generation.
May be transferred.
Right. Or it could be completely destroyed. And and then a lot of people go, oh, great. Well, they'll just hand down their house to me. They'll give their money to their kids. Here's the problem. Of the $68 trillion in wealth transfer, what do we know? We know that most baby boomers, so more than 60% of boomers own a small business. What do we know about business owners?
Whoa.
We know that business owners have 90% of their net worth on average tied up in the business. So what does that mean? It means that $68 trillion likely is tied up entirely in businesses in a number that we can't quite imagine. Like we're talking somewhere between 20 and $40 trillion of the 68 trillion is tied up inside of businesses and assets. And so if we just say, okay, baby boomers, we wait for you to die, we take over your houses, we take over your cars, what will we be left with? Well, not the $68 trillion number, because a lot of their wealth is tied up in small businesses. And so we only need to look to Japan to realize how real this is. So Japan's a fascinating case because in Japan, they're like maybe 10 to 15 years ahead of us. And you can see that Japan has the same issue we have. They have an older demographic population than us. They have a lot of baby boomers times 2 or 3. And they have a slowing younger population from a growth rate perspective, and they have no immigration. They really don't allow immigration in Japan to meaningful numbers. And so they have this generation of business owners who are literally shutting down their businesses. And you can read about it. It's in the Wall Street Journal. And it's been such a detrimental force in the economy that the government created a task force to essentially help pair baby boomers who want to sell their business for $0, just transfer the assets basically to the younger generation, meaning that they have grants, they have systems and processes, they have matchmaking agencies, they've funded M&A agencies, because they realize if they don't do that, 1 in 10 jobs in Japan is tied up in those small businesses owned by the baby boomers. And so that would be almost Great Depression level of unemployment if those businesses just disappear. And so it's kind of scary on a macro level to think about it that big, and that we could have this huge looming wealth transfer that could go sideways. But on the other hand, if you think about it opportunistically, there are so many small business owners that are baby boomers that don't even realize their business has a value. And a lot of them might think the value is much higher than it is or should be. And a lot of them might not even think to sell the business. They think to just shut it down. That's what happens with most small businesses. Like